And to take this nice and slow. It's Monday, June 1st, 2026. Now it's Tuesday, and never mind, I woke up. It's June 2nd. Right now it's 4:11 a.m. I'm finally at a computer, and some of you might be a bit confused because I stopped making posts and shorts for a few days. No backup plans? What happened? Well, a simple explanation, my throat. Don't worry, I'm not sick, nor my vocal cords are damaged, but Friday I strained them a bit too hard, and they weren't feeling so good. I've been overdosing on dihydroxygen monoxide and honey drops. If you're confused by that first name, don't worry. It's just a fancy way of saying water to scare the crap out of conspiracy theorists. So yeah, my throat hurting is an explanation for a few of the videos you saw on the channel recently, but that's part of the story. So, was May a success for the channel? Yes and no. Like last month, we eventually made $100 by the 30th, and first off, thank you so much for the support and effort. It really means the world to me. And there were so many interesting videos and conversations that we ended up having, and I'm really grateful that it turned out, while not perfect, still better than I expected. I mean, I got to talk with all of you, so I'm glad you all appreciated my hard work at some point. But we'll talk about what happened. So first we're going to talk about what happened in May, where things that worked in May, where things were kind of mixed, and what didn't work out or I couldn't reach, as well as the disappointments. First up, the pros. Yu-Gi-Oh fans, y'all really stepped up for me. Talking about why every Yu-Gi-Oh series matters video was the last resort video that I was passionate to talk about or speak on, but I just didn't have the time to fully flesh out. So I'm glad it resonated with so many people. Like, I still think about the fact that someone literally met their partner because of Arc 5, and that is so genuinely sweet. Same with the Rush Duels one. Like, every new installment of Yu-Gi-Oh has always had so much bad faith criticism, despite having legal valid issues with them that people don't talk about. And it's always been a shame how low effort and knee-jerk reactions to any new Yu-Gi-Oh series has been, especially without giving it a chance. But with Sevens, even in a shorter video talking about Rush and why bad faith criticism towards a series is never good, that was a double-edged sword I knew I could risk if my points weren't as solid as they were. So I'm glad more people actually started to recognize that and resonated with the video. I wish the video talking about which Master Duel versus Rush Duel characters would I like to see did better, but I don't think I advertised as well as I could have. But talking about the last 4 videos, pointing out how the anime isn't some edgy series glorifying death and destruction, saying positive aspects about Sevens with some bad critics can only mock down to all people just like it because the girls are treating well, when that's clearly not the case. And my first slander video with the Yu-Gi-Oh girls turned out to be much better than I thought it was going to be. You guys really like that. It's funny because when it was first coming up, the concept back in March and April, I had some people tell me I should either just do the original trilogy since those are the ones that get overly praised. But I use slander very interestingly when people tend to just use it as a negative light or ignore the context behind something. And on this channel, I actually like to show people that I actually like and care about what I'm talking about. So I'm glad it turned out even better than I thought. And Beyblade, I didn't talk about it much this month. But regarding the 6th video, I saw quite a few people in the Beyblade community crapping on the chapter. But when I got the full context and when I made my chapter video, my analysis and perception of stories is always going to be different from other people. So when I read it and came to my own conclusions about the themes, I was genuinely surprised to see how many people resonated with 6 or just felt bad for him, because I felt like in general, and I talked about this in the video, when it comes to men in fiction, we tend to dismiss the ones who either have mental hardships or hurdles, especially if they're vulnerable. And I'm glad that the community showed me that that's not always going to result in negativity, since the characters in universe felt bad for him, and I got to see other fans in real life in the comment section feel bad for 6. I also got to make the Dino Thunder joke, which, man, it is so still funny finding out that people in Japan also agreed with me there, even if they didn't see the video. The fact that people were already making comparisons to Opera Ranger was so funny. It felt really gratifying. And even though I still feel stupid for forgetting about 2 Beyblade mothers, I'm really glad that the Mother's Day Beyblade video turned out really well, especially since people tend to focus more on Yu-Gi-Oh's parents than Beyblade's parents, which you guys actually gave more views to the Beyblade videos than the Yu-Gi-Oh ones I did last year. So that really made me happy. I'm really grateful. I think the mixed aspect was this month was with Tokusatsu, Kamen Rider, and Power Rangers. Maybe I was still burnt out from working on the LARPer video last month to the point where I still haven't made the sequel despite having all the evidence I need. But yeah, in terms of actually getting you guys interested and invested, talking about Tokusatsu this month was kind of mixed. Like, going in order, I think talking about the possibility of Peyton Lee becoming the first female Asian Red Ranger and why the backlash was stupid possibly didn't perform as well, because I think the problem was that that was a conversation I was thinking a couple of months back. And while I don't like attracting negativity to the channel, and thankfully this didn't, I felt like that topic may have been a bit too late, even though I was saving it for Asian Month in particular. And okay, talking about who the best teacher in Power Rangers and Kamen Rider turned out pretty well. I mean, I wasn't expecting that video to get over 500 views, but it's at 700 so far. The real problem is because I was talking about shows that either didn't pay as much attention to or discussing ones that kind of require a lot of evidence and context, I had to spend a lot more time actually getting the footage, which is why I was almost late for Teacher Appreciation Week last year. But I wanted to get it done, and this year I finally managed to do it, so I'm proud of myself there. And hey, it's not at 1,000 views, but 749 views is nothing to scoff at. Speaking of which, I'm glad I got to cover Zetsu being divisive because it was interesting to hear from both the Japanese perspective, but it was also interesting to explore from a writing perspective, and that's one of 8 videos I got over 1,000 views, so again, thank you. The follow-up video about Koreda's treatment in Zetsu didn't do as well, like only half, but when you're talking about criticism and drama at the same time, it's either going to have people interested or not. Like, I was always going to do it eventually, but I kind of regret, actually, no, when it comes to the Kamen Rider Gachar one being more similar to GX or Zexo, yeah, that one I kind of wish did a little bit better, but I kind of regret it being too short because I was running out of energy that day. And I think that was the same day I was starting a script idea that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime Isn't Dark video. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I also wanted to do a video on Kiria dying on Christmas Day and then we go right to Memorial Day. I wish it did better, but after I barely managed to get the Gachard one out, I managed to get the Christmas one out relatively earlier than usual, even though I was still tired that day. So I wish it did a little bit better, but I'm so proud I got it done because 170 views is nothing to be sad about, especially for a short channel. Well, small channel like myself. Like, I got one video that did well and everything else is either decent or okay, which I'm glad. At least it wasn't disappointing. Like, yeah, my Naruto and Boruto videos did pretty bad. This hurts because out of the 2 Naruto and Boruto videos I did this month, neither one is still at 100 views yet as of the time I'm making this video. And I genuinely don't know why that is. I thought after last month where I talked about the lack of nuance regarding Naruto supporting characters debate that Naruto content would do better on the channel, but I just ended up with someone mad at me that I mispronounced someone's name wrong even though it was a spur of the moment thing and I said it right in other context. And again, after all that discussion, there was nothing else anyone wanted to say. But then I thought about talking about the new Boruto chapter before it came out, which would have helped. But not only that it didn't, there are people who came out with similar videos who put in less effort than I did and got way more views and comments. Hell, I'm still only at 92 views at the time I'm typing this. Heck, the Rock Lee video somehow did even worse at 67 views. I thought for sure people would have been interested in me talking about Rock Lee, especially since for the past 2 months, every time I said I was going to make this video, people said they were interested in watching it. Granted, I know YouTube is catered towards making negative content about Naruto and Boruto, but I did frame it in SEO terms to at least be an interesting discussion, so I don't know what happened. I guess you guys just aren't interested in me talking about Naruto and Boruto as I thought. But when I talked about them on the shorts, they did relatively well. Well, Naruto and Boruto content in general. So maybe the problem is I should be talking about both of them on shorts instead of full-time videos. But at the same time, people asked me and said they were okay with me making videos on the topic. So maybe I'm just not doing my best in order to keep that audience engaged, or they changed their mind, which is weird because I've seen the views from other Naruto and Boruto videos out there on YouTube. So I don't know what I did wrong in that regard. Maybe I just need another Naruto Boruto video to pop off well, but if they're gonna outperform this badly, then yeah, it kind of felt demoralizing. And for the biggest disappointment, the Asian American and Asian videos did not do as well as I hoped, which is very disappointing considering there was a lot that was going on this month and I didn't even get a chance to talk about most of it. I will say I was hoping every video got to 100 views, but the Asian student who got bullied only got up to 146, but I'm not going to call that one a failure. I'm kind of glad that one did as well as it did. What really irked me is that I did a video talking about the hate crimes as a joke, and somehow YouTube decided to put limited ads on it, despite allowing way worse content and misinformation to be spread, and I only ended up with 77 views. Granted, I've seen from other content creators that having limiting ads doesn't necessarily mean that the video is not going to perform well on the algorithm, but I ended up with 77 views and only 1 cent earned from it. I'd had better luck telling you guys why you're not getting Cartoon Network versus Nickelodeon for me at 12 cents. That is sad. Like, that's a real disappointment. It performed even worse. The time Korea made their own I Know What You Did Last Summer slasher. Yeah, that one is only at 39 views. That is my least performing video. Really wanted to see that one grow, and yeah, I did go through a lot of lengths to even get that content out in the first place. Again, trying to review a video only through screenshots and a few videos that you can find is not easy. And I'm really glad it turned out as well as it did in terms of being able to make it. But damn, only 39 people and 11 cents earned. That's kind of sad. At least the Asian Slander video is at 47 views. That's probably not going above 60, but we'll see what happens. Speaking of which, let's talk about the slander videos. Now, to be fair, I told you all this was going to happen eventually, but I already had a list of slander ideas I wanted to say for Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in April, but it just didn't have the time to finalize it. And between April and May, I was thinking about finding the right clips in order to use it. So when I made it on Friday on that point, I was like, okay, I have a list of clips that I think I can use. Why not just get what I need, find it, and put it all together? Took me about 2 hours while I was exercising, but I'd say it worked out. Okay, I wanted to get the Mega Man Slander video out back when I did the Mega Man Battle Network / Star Force video, and I'm not gonna lie, putting that together was a little bit rough because partially I couldn't find all the clips that I wanted to use, and some of them which is a little bit harder to find in others because I've been trying to make sure I don't worry about copyright. However, I think it came out better than I thought. I mean, so far it's at 113 views. Although my main concern is that I accidentally forgot to turn on the monetization button, so I'm gonna need you guys to check that one out. But yeah, that's on me. I'll make sure to advertise it. So if the video didn't do so well, what worked? The shorts. Now, the only problem with me doing shorts is that I don't know if YouTube's system wants me to post them at certain times because I was trying to see how much I could do and it looked like I could just post any time and see what would happen. But in the past, I noticed that if I made a short after 6 a.m., there was a good chance it was not going to do so well unless it was related to something that got announced or confirmed. So that's why you don't see me post them at all in the morning except on weekends. And even then on weekends, I need to test and see how well that works. And I know I did because I'm checking my YouTube studio. Yeah, it's 7:54. I woke up late and I have to hurry up. I made 129 shorts last month. Granted, it's because there's so much going on in the world that I feel like I want to say, but I can't always use a video to talk about it. But the fact that I was able to is just a bunch of fun. There is a pro and a con because I feel like with shorts, I can have a balance between scripting and unscripted. But I feel like I need to capitalize better on using the scripted ones because if I have an actual argument or interesting point to bring up, I want to make sure I'm articulated enough so that it could actually be an interesting discussion. Like when I talked about the Bleach and the Draken situation, because I was very curious on what everyone's stance on that were because I didn't feel like the series had a definitive answer. The main mistake I need to take into consideration with shorts is that I don't put an image on it to be relatable enough because I was trying to figure out whether or not the algorithm was against making positive content of Boruto if you don't have a lot of followers. And the one thing I noticed is that the shorts where it had an image for a character did better than the ones where it did not. So I need to do a better job in that regard. I also feel like I just hesitated way too much. Now, Marvel Talk on Video underperformed because I think I just took way too long in order to put it together or just wasn't moving fast enough. And by the time I did, even when I connected everything as well as I could, it still didn't get to 1,000 views. And I really thought that one was going to. I'll do another talk about how Beyblade fans who like the Metal Saga never want to engage with the Metal Saga and instead just complain. But if I had known people weren't interested in me doing Metal Saga content, I probably would have just done something else. Because I did not make a lot of Asian-related videos this month as I would like. And a lot I wanted to talk about I had to put in a slander video because my throat was hurting and I just didn't have the time or the power to do so. But in hindsight, I could have done them earlier, and even if they didn't do well either, I could have made shorts to boost them up, or I could have said something. And I need to stop hesitating. A good example is this morning. I tried waking up early, and the moment I got a little bit of mental pushback, I just made myself fall asleep again, and now I lost like an hour and a half that I could have been used to make that ahead of time. And yes, June is men's mental health month, and I am trying to make sure that I do the best in my regard with that. But I'm putting a lot of time and effort into this, and if the results aren't showing up or proving otherwise, then I need to improve or do something better. And I would rather put myself through the dopamine of putting through all that effort and still making and being proud of my attempt than feeling like I wasted the potential to even make it if I had the time, especially. There is a me out there that can basically balance all of this. And I feel like between March and February not doing as well as it could have been, April being surprisingly well, and me being able to get the goal that I needed to in May was possible because I still haven't been paid yet. No, seriously, there was a siren announcement with a new poster. I'm mad because I could have talked about it when I woke up, but I decided to prioritize the video when I didn't have to. See the issue? And as of today, I need to make sure I fix that about myself, especially this month, because I have not got paid yet, and now I know why. Basically, YouTube wants to see if you can get to $100 in terms of revenue by the 20th of each month, not just the 31st. If you don't make it, they add the money for the next month and see if you can accomplish it then. And if you manage to do so in the next month, or at least 2 months in a row before the 20th of each month, then you get your money. For context, right now I've earned about $473.55 between when I got monetized to where I am now. I'll put it on screen, but I earned $60 in January, $79 in February, $78 in March, $149 in April, and $105 in May. So I am doing a better job when it comes to consistency, but I need to prove that I can make it. Right now, I'm almost at 1,900 subscribers, and I'm proud of myself. Thank you for getting me this far. But in order to make it for every single day this month, I have to try and earn at least $5 every single day. And I didn't put out a video yesterday, and I didn't put out that much content in the last couple of weeks, so I'm going to have to try even harder to make it. And I want to be transparent with you guys, because not every YouTuber is willing to admit that they're struggling or they're not progressing as much as they would like to. And I want to be open with you all, because some of y'all have said that I post way too much or have been concerned. If my channel ever gets deleted, then that would be the only time I ever feel like this was a waste of time. But I'm not going to be mad about the effort, because it was showing potential, and I want to get there. Every video I have done, people have come to watch. And because of all that time you invested in me, I want to show that that matters, and I want to show that it was earned. So I want to do whatever mental hurdles that I have in order to get them down and break them down. And I want to try to get to this goal with your help no matter what. So I'm not going to give up. And I want to thank you all again for getting me this far and always listening to me regardless. So am I probably late? Consequences for my actions. The only thing I want to address is that I said this month I was going to try to do more Beyblade content, and then I remembered that Pride Month exists and a bunch of things happening in June. So I am going to do a combination of seeing what happens and being experimental, also having a few ideas planned, but I don't think this is going to be the month where I just exclusively talk about Beyblade content. That might be July if I am able to deal with the heat preventing me from getting anything done. But I've been fighting pollen for how long, so we'll see what happens. I think I should do more content with shorts to see if my shorts can do a better job of connecting to the video. So even if the video doesn't do well, enough shorts about the topic will gain some interest, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, ask me anything, and thank you for making May as good as it could have been. You can ask me anything in the comments. Thanks for watching, and BIP of Bizarre Interest Productions, signing off. Forgot one more thing. Am I going to do a slander video for Beyblade? Yes, but I feel like after the last 3 made me realize I've forgotten some stuff I wanted to say. I might need some time in order to flesh out what I want to include in there. So it might not happen this week or next week, but I'll try to get it out this month. We'll see what happens.